Hello and happy Sunday everyone, and here on your most favorite Tesla series on the whole internet, we are having a brand new episode with top topics like Project Roadrunner, Model Y deliveries and the stock crash of Tesla. Now without further ado, let's roll.
Wolf of Dubai.
So the topics in today's episode are quite interesting because we will talk about the update of the Berlin Gigafactory, we will talk about the Model Y, and we will talk about the stock meltdown of Tesla. Obviously, this was one of the top topics this week, and obviously we will go into the details why it happened and what will be next for Tesla stock here. Moreover, we will talk about the Project Roadrunner, which is the top secret battery project by Tesla, and also finally we will dive into the partnership that is slowly breaking up between Panasonic and Tesla, while Panasonic is stopping the solar cells production. And therefore, let's have a look what the Gigafactory in Berlin is doing. I know, the Gigafactory is not in Berlin, it's in Brandenburg. I know many of you guys told me this already, and finally Tesla made a little bit of naming or renaming of the Gigafactories, and I think officially it's now good to say Tesla Gigafactory Berlin. Now, however, as we know, the Tesla Gigafactory forest removal was a little bit of a drama. Now there was a lot of activists and there was even the court in Germany involved. However, this is how it looks now currently at the spot. The forest removal is totally completed, and we know a first date of the groundbreaking of the factory, which will happen in March of this year. End of March, we seem to start the construction on site. Moreover, Tesla is doing a great job. What I didn't know, and I just researched, that Tesla even has an office for people that want to be informed about this project, about the company itself. They can go to this office, and they extended the office opening and operation, and therefore, everybody, doesn't matter if Greenpeace like activists or other people from the area just want to be informed how this will benefit the community, they can go to the office and get information directly straight from employees of Tesla, which I think is a great thing. So we talked about this week about the Model Y and why it's so important. If you want to check this vlog out, make sure to look for this thumbnail on my channel here, because I'm vlogging every single day, and maybe you should consider to subscribe. Definitely like up this video if you like it so far. And the Model Y is so important for Tesla and the further success of the company, and therefore it's interesting to see that lots and lots of Model Ys are already lining up on the parking lot of Tesla Gigafactory, ready for delivery on the 15th of March. It will be ready for delivery, and it's starting quite fast, faster than originally projected. This is a very good successful point for Tesla, and therefore we should be quite seeing this also in the Q1 2020 numbers, because the models that are currently being shipped out are starting somewhere around $53,000, and as higher the price is better the margin amount, obviously, because it's percentage wise of the car value, and therefore we can imagine that this will be having some effect definitely on the Q1 numbers, which is usually a quite low months or quarter for Tesla, and therefore we could be happy that this is happening so fast. So if we're looking in the last 3 months of Tesla stock, it was a wild ride in primary one direction, and this was up. Now, if we are looking back in December, we had the stock price of 336, and we went up to even 800, 900 per share. The highest was $968 per share, and therefore many of us were very lucky, especially if you heard me since the summer and trusted my research that Tesla will definitely become a great stock to invest in. And therefore, we have seen with the latest market crash-ish movement that this kind of companies, especially the ones that went up very fast in a very short of period, was obviously victim of the latest sell-off. And if we're just looking into this week, absolutely ridiculous, from $852 to $667, and after hours we went 1% up, and Friday was not that much so a sell-off like the days before, which was like minus 6, 7, 12%. This was high percentage numbers, and overall this week we could see a 20.78% decline in the stock. And I believe that this is a great opportunity for Tesla investors to load up more stocks, or for new investors to get a 20% discount on the stock price. This is a great choice, and as Warren Buffett would say, buy. And I know that's very hard if the market color is primarily red, like this t-shirt, to buy in, and this seems to be scary, but in the long term this is how big money is getting made when you are trusting yourself and buying good companies. You should buy them on discount. This is how you actually can make really great deals, and therefore I believe this is a great opportunity, a small correction, and I believe this can give us a little bit more power to the overall bull market. So let's see how this develops. Definitely a great opportunity now to load in some Tesla stocks. Definitely important for the Tesla stock how the Q1 will be moving forward, and I'm very curious how the Model Y deliveries and first reviews will help Tesla as a company to grow as well. And therefore let's dive into the next topic. So as we know already from a couple of news outlets and articles, that Tesla is experimenting with its own battery cells. The recent acquisition of Maxwell and Hyber System is hinting to own production cell in the US, and there seems to be tests running. And now we know the official name of this high confidentially project, which is Roadrunner, like the Roadrunner comic or animated film that is very fast, like a Tesla on plate mode, and therefore it's a good name to accelerate the future of battery technology. And battery technology is very important for Tesla and its future, and therefore it's super important that this works out. The goal is definitely to go down with the price per kilowatt hour to under $100 US. And the newest developments that we have there is that Matthew Moore, an development engineer, posted on LinkedIn some comments and hinting, come to develop the battery of the future. And also we know that, they are being battery packs tested actually in cars already. And it seems that with achieving the same range, the battery cells can be much reduced to less cells, because the efficiency just get much better. And therefore this means that either the same ranges can be kept, or with a same size battery pack increased ranges, which many of us would prefer to have more range with a car, or for the same cars lower price, because the battery is a significant cost for the electric car vehicle. And Tesla is one of the only car manufacturers out there. They're producing their own cells in the future, and this is a huge advantage and huge competition, positive against any other car manufacturer out there. Now that the relationship between Panasonic, a supplier of Tesla, and Tesla itself over the last couple of years was not so great, this is something that you might already know. It started that, Elon Musk gave Panasonic the fault that they were not operating on their potential and promised capacity, and therefore produced a bottleneck for the Tesla Model 3 to not produce enough cars to settle the demand demand on the market and the hunger for the Model 3. This was obviously quite significant when Elon posted this on Twitter, and with time, you know, also we see in China they are using different suppliers now. They are now announcing, Panasonic announced that they will stop the partnership in the Buffalo, New York factory to produce the solar cells. Panasonic in general has trouble to move from a consumer product company to component company to supply other B2B businesses, and it's slowly cutting this profit loss centers of the business, like solar business. They also sold recently one of the solar development arms of the company to China as well, and therefore you see, you know, Panasonic is trying to be more efficient, and the partnership doesn't work anymore in both ways, I believe. So I think in the long term it's a good move. Tesla can have the more options on the market with the battery cells itself and producing its own cells soon, which will be anyway the ideal case. This is actually something comparable to other car manufacturers if they producing their own engines, and therefore you see that why Daimler, for example, is buying battery cells or not having its own plant. This is the only one company in the world that producing their own battery packs for such a crazy demand and product, and therefore it's a really good step. However, Panasonic will not be part of this future any longer.